It is Sunday. You know what that means. Sit down, get your drink, get your food, and sit in for another episode of Unturned Pages. How are you guys?
Good. How are you doing?
Besides Derek breaking his ankle.
Yeah, besides that,
Derek broke his ankle.
I was helping the neighbor, and I didn't see the curb, and it was snowy, and I fell, and my leg went backwards, and down I go right on top of my foot. I heard a loud pop noise, and then I felt it, and I couldn't get up. It sucked.
I'm just thankful because I was at work, and I was the only one there, so I couldn't leave to be there with him, So
right.
I was thankful. I was getting this California number calling me, and I thought it was telemarketer, so I kept decline. And then the second time I did a automated message, and then they hung up again. But then I seen on camera somebody was walking Derek up the driveway. I was like, so I called that number back, and it was our neighbor Matt. I was so thankful for Matt. So we ended up getting him a card, and
I couldn't get up.
A little gift card. That was very kind of him.
I didn't know what to do. I couldn't get up. I was like, dude,
you probably broke it.
Hell. And I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, don't be surprised if they put you in a rocking boot and crutches and a knee scooter thing. Trust me, I've done it. I've been there several times. It sucks, especially during wintertime.
Next time I'm going to wear my boots.
Have no traction on the bottom of them, so you'll be slipping and sliding on the ice.
Yep.
I just pretend I'm a penguin every winter, and I've
been walking like a damn penguin. It's funny.
Shuffle my feet. Shuffle.
So let's dive into our little intro here. Thank you to our sponsor, Small Town Productions, Larry Eisler III. You may not be able to find him on Facebook right now, but you can message him on Instagram. He's fighting Facebook and Meta right now to get his account back. But if you need Larry or Small Town Productions, please go out to Instagram and find him. Creepy Crates, Reaper Paranormal, Crooked Path Paranormal, and then Breaking Fate / Mr. Willie's Dark Arts and Oddities. I have been with Willie Atkins all weekend working on the fun event coming up here in March, March 21st and 22nd, the Obscura Paracon that will be taking place in DeKalb, Illinois. I get to announce it here first because it's not been posted on Facebook or any social media yet, but Josh Purvis of The Searchers will be in attendance at this event. He will be doing a lecture, hanging out at his booth, meeting with friends and fans and everything, talking about Stream Beacons. I'm super excited to have him part of this event. So you heard it here first on Unturned Pages. He will be there, Josh Purvis. We also have Dave Schrader. We have Amelia Cotter, who is a paranormal author here in the Wisconsin, Illinois area. We have the Chicago Ghost Guy coming. We have some special surprises coming very soon, which I'm super excited about. You don't have any idea how hard it is to not say it right now. But I've been working with Willie all weekend about the Paracon. So there's some fun things happening. Vendor booths should be going up for sale within the next 2 or 3 days. And then tickets will go on sale shortly after. But we have some amazing people coming for this Paracon. And expect to see all my Midwestern friends at this Paracon. I know Derek and Alicia will be coming, hopefully. So you'll have the whole crew of
we need to plan that one. We got plenty of time to plan it out. So I'd love it because it's literally right in our neck of the woods. I mean, it's an hour and 30 minutes away. And it's a place where we'd never gone to before.
Yeah, something different,
something
for
new,
us
different. And I would love to be there to represent Eternal Paranormal and Unturned Pages, So
and Sanctable Souls
and SOS, yeah, of course.
Yeah, definitely. But it's gonna be a great event. It is a Saturday, Sunday event. There'll be an investigation Saturday night at the Egyptian Theater with Dale. I can never say his last name. He's big in the paranormal field. Dale K. Let's just say that. I could never pronounce his last name. And then I will be at the investigation as well.
There's an investigation with
around and hosting groups. So I'm excited.
Nice.
So try out on the Facebook page and the event page for more information as they get released this week. So I'm super excited for that. Much more details will come of that soon. But we tonight have a special guest. We have Nikki back on with us. I think we had her on in a couple months ago, right? I think so. Couple months, like June.
Yeah, at least 2 to 3 months ago. Yeah, because we
it's been a while.
If I can remember correctly, we were talking about obviously, you know, her books and the dreams, and I think
it was July.
It was
the first week of July.
It's been a few months. We were talking about everything. So there's questions now because I've had some dreams come up. I'm gonna try to ask her a few questions about those and see kind of what she says. So I can't wait to talk to her.
So let's bring her up here. Hello, Nikki. How are you?
Hi, guys. Great. Thanks for having me back. Yeah,
definitely.
You're back.
Yeah, I was like reviewing what we talked about last time to make sure I didn't repeat myself. But you guys kept saying, "Oh my gosh, there's still so many unanswered questions," and so I'm excited to kind of get back into it. And yeah, what have you been dreaming?
So
what I've been dreaming. Okay.
Before we dive into dreams, Nikki, for people who are just tuning in, didn't listen to the first episode, tell a little bit about yourself and why you're so drawn to working with dreams and those type of topics.
Yeah, dreams is definitely not my only area of expertise, but it is a passion of mine. And I also did just put out an important book.
You have a very wide variety.
Yeah. I'm a full-time professional occultist and witch. So I've been a practicing witch for about 30 years, and I'm formally trained and initiated in the Religious Order of Witchcraft. And then I went forward to form my own occult training order, which is the Society of Witchcraft and Old Magick. So my order is actually not religious at all. It's a school of training. But we focus on helping people to have a very wide variety of spiritual experiences, as well as a foundation in occult knowledge and understanding of the concepts that lie behind a lot of the mysteries of spirits, of energy, of psychic phenomena, and all of those kind of things that people are generally interested in with respect to the unseen. So a lot of overlap with some of the things that you guys do and you guys explore, which is really cool. But for me, dreaming is such a crucial part of the mysteries in general. And it's something that all human beings have in common, whether they realize it or not, because even if people don't remember, every person is dreaming every second of every time that you sleep. And you can bring back recall, even if you don't currently have it. And there's a lot of information in those recalled dreams that lets you explore things we talked about last time. Precognitions, meaning a lot of stuff that you see in advance of when it happens in ordinary reality. Speaking with spirits and messages from spirits and things like that. As well as the exploration of other realities, past lives, the nature of consciousness itself, you as a spirit. I mean, there's so much. And I truly believe that that dreaming is part of the true superpower of being a human. We don't think about all the other species on the planet. Like, we don't have flying. We don't have super speed like a cheetah. We don't have crazy sharp claws or teeth or strength. Like, we're squishy. We have had to use our powers of conscious awareness and the exploration of that to solve problems, to look beyond ourselves, to reach into that which is unseen and create meaning. And so I think that any human who can should try to tap into this. It's your birthright. You know, it's your spiritual superpower birthright. Yeah, so I did write that book, Dream Sorcery, which focuses on lucid dreaming and all of the magic and transformation and sort of like vibratory elevation that you can achieve through doing special acts in the lucid dream state. But everything that we're talking about can be applied conceptually to the spontaneous night dream material that you have as well. And so I'm just here for it. But I'm also an occult teacher. So like I said, dreams are not my only area of expertise. Like if you guys have questions about the auric field, the energy centers in the human body, you know, psychic skills, divination methods, all of that kind of thing is within my purview as well. So I'm ready for all the questions, and I just want to have fun talking with you guys tonight.
Why first? Me first. So, why do you know why some people remember their dreams every time, or like mostly, or some people don't remember their dreams at all?
Yeah, there's a bajillion reasons. There have been so many scientific studies done on this exact question of what factors influence dream recall. And there are a ton. And some of these factors are things that you can change, and some of them are not things that you can change. So it's important to kind of look at all of them and then figure out which ones you can change so that you can try to increase your dream recall if dream recall is a struggle, because it is for a lot of people. Some people recall easily and frequently, and some people barely ever recall dreams, and sometimes not at all. Generally, it's factors that influence depth of mental clarity. Now, in studies, though, it's pretty interesting. I actually did, for my master's thesis, a survey-based research project on how a person's perceived connection to nature will have a direct bearing upon their dream recall. And this is just one tiny factor, but I did all this research and it ended up being off the charts statistically significant, meaning that however highly you rate yourself as being connected to nature will correlate to the amount of dreams that you recall and how frequently. So people that feel like they're not connected to nature at all tend to have poorer dream recall than people who feel like they are inherently very connected to nature. So this is just one example of a study, but there have been loads. So some general ones for you guys to think about. Women do have a little bit of a higher dream recall frequency than men overall. Sorry, Derek, you don't have to fall into that that category. It's not an across-the-board stereotype. It's just a trend seen in some of the studies. But like along these same lines of things that we can't change, like we can't change necessarily like the biology that we were born with, but we also can't change our current age. So the older you are, generally, the harder it is to have great recall. So people have more naturally good recall when they're young, and then it can get harder and harder and harder as you get older. However, I mean, I think I'm older than all of you guys. I'm 52. I still have really robust recall. So I mean, I'm not like elderly yet. I'm kind of like upper middle ages, but still, you know, I think if you prioritize it and you do a lot of stuff for your mental clarity and set dream intentions and have a good dream journaling practice and all of that, you can retain the recall levels that you had when you were younger, even as you get older. Because I recall many more dreams than a lot of other people my age because I've just been doing it. I can recall almost every dream of the night, to be honest. Like a lot of times in the morning, I'm writing down like at least 5 or 6 dreams, sometimes 10, going all the way back through the night. But I've been focusing on it like a crazy person, for decades. So that's fine. Now we're not going to go here, but there has been a study showing that political orientation has a correlation with dream recall as well. And I'm not going to state, anyone who knows me knows my stance, but liberals definitely have better dream recall than Democrats have better dream recall than Republicans in general.
Oh, wow.
Again, not an across the board stereotype,
right.
but one of the big factors that has to do with dream recall is open-mindedness and creativity. So like they've done studies where like people who engage in the arts, like if you do a lot of either like writing, engaging with music, dance, or even just appreciating art, painting, anything creative, even get this though, it doesn't have to be just creation of art. For this sort of creative brain thing to predispose you like to better recall and to lucidity in your dreams. It can even be like if you're very into video games that are like first person shooters and things like that, because things that get you into a flow state where you're in that worldview and you lose track of time a little bit, anything like that you engage in can help predispose you to better recall and possibly lucid dreams. They've done a lot of studies. Yeah, they've done a lot of studies on things like rating people on their general open-mindedness, on visual memory. So that's your ability to be present and clear. When you are, let's say, in a room like I'm in right now that has like lots of detail and color and altars and items and books, and like if you can remember a lot of little details about the surroundings that you're in, or if you're one of those people that can like walk into a restaurant and kind of know how many people are in there and who was wearing a hat and what were the predominant colors and what song was playing on the radio overhead, and all of these sort of sensory things, like when you're very aware of your surroundings, that visual and sensory memory accuracy, developing that can help you with dream recall. It makes me think of like the detectives in movies and TV shows that we like to watch, those types of, really mentally clear people. So there's a lot of different factors like that that can play in. And then of course, substances and usages of things. So unfortunately, there are just a whole bunch of pharmaceuticals that are prescription things that people need in order to function that can inhibit dream recall, which is a big problem for a lot of people.
Right.
Things like antidepressants and stuff like that can really limit dream recall. But don't take that as, but don't take it as a big limiting factor. Like, here's the thing. We should never judge that. Like, we have to function, right? Like if there's something in your life that you get diagnosed with that you need to have meds for so that you function as best you can, that is top priority number one.
No,
and
absolutely.
That has to come before your dream recall, but they did do a study, for example, where they had a population of people who were diagnosed with depression. And so being diagnosed with depression on its own without any drugs, those people had lower dream recall than people who did not have depression, for example, because depression and other like mental health diagnoses are things that do inhibit your mental clarity. It's not your fault. It's a thing that happens, right? So you need sometimes to treat it or whatever to make sure that you can function well. But then what they showed that was with some of those people from that population with the diagnosis, when they were given antidepressants, their dream recall went even lower than the already low point it was at by having depression. So the meds, like, they mask your mental clarity so that you don't experience the depression, so that you can function. They don't treat whatever, like, the probably underlying cause of the depression is, but that's okay if that gets you to a place of functioning, right? Like, we've got to do what we have to do. So these are some why I say, like, sometimes there are factors you can change and sometimes there are factors you can't change. Like, can you engage in a creative act? Yeah, you can. Meditation is a huge factor in dream recall. Huge. I mean, we know that meditation is beneficial for people across the board, regardless of whether you're talking about trying to recall your dreams or not. It benefits you in a bajillion ways. Everyone should meditate. This is like a statement I can make. And it's really hard for people to get into a habit because it takes diligence. And people think like they can't meditate. We can talk about meditation if you guys want a little bit, but
absolutely.
People think, like, I've heard so many people say to me, oh, I can't meditate, because they think that, like, because they have a very active mind that darts all over the place, that's hard to focus, that they can't meditate. Meditation is not the act of making your mind still. Meditation is the act of trying to focus, no matter how freaking hard it is. So, like, to do a meditation would be to say, okay, let's say you're going to take 10 minutes. Let's say you're going to do a 10-minute meditation. You're going to pick one thing that is your chosen point of focus during that meditation sitting. It could be your breath. It could be your third eye. It could be just the sensation of your body sitting there in your chair. You pick one thing and only one thing that is going to be your focal point during that 10 minutes. Set a timer and then close your eyes and try to keep your attention on that thing. I don't care if you have to reorient your attention back to it 1,000 times in that 10 minutes. You meditated. You are showing yourself that you have a choice as to where you try to put your focus, no matter how overactive your mind is. It doesn't matter if you have ADHD or all kinds of other things. You can meditate. We get waylaid because we think of meditation as someone sitting there with these mudras in a, like, Zen Buddhist enlightened state. But meditation doesn't mean that you achieve mental stillness or mental nothingness. It means that you try to refocus your attention over and over and over again. And the more that you do this, the more mental clarity you cultivate. So studies have shown that people that meditate have much greater mental clarity. They have better dream recall and a predisposition to lucidity. Here's how important meditation is. There are studies that show this. Even meditating one time on one day, like if you meditate tonight, it will increase your dream recall chances for tomorrow by a pretty big amount. Like, but you have to do it all the time. You can't just meditate once and then 10 years from now be like, oh, I meditated. So it's like working out, you know, you've got to keep it in shape. But those are a lot of factors. What types of factors contribute to people who tend to dream very bizarre and often unpleasant things? That's a really good question from the chat here. That's hard to know. So sometimes bizarre and unpleasant things can be from stress. So just having like a mind that is constantly reviewing a lot of stressors, we do tend to go into dream realities based on things that we've been thinking about. I think we touched on this last time. I remember saying, like, if you've been watching a lot of episodes of The Walking Dead, you know, it's more like you're going to find yourself in a zombie apocalypse dream. But so a lot of like bizarre and unpleasant things of stress, but not necessarily, you know, we don't know that for sure. And you can definitely try to change the energy of the things that you tend to dream about through meditation, through intention setting, through trying to focus on certain types of scenarios or scenes before you fall asleep. If you tend to dream into stressful situations all the time, it's really beneficial to picture yourself in a really peaceful, tranquil, healing place in the mind's eye before you go to bed and as you fall asleep. That will influence the types of realities you find yourself in the dream time after that. It's not a guarantee, but it can help.
Let me know how part 2 goes, Heather.
I see we have a desire for a Stranger Things dream thing tonight in the chat. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to lie. Like, I like having bizarre dreams because it wakes me up thinking like, ooh, was I getting to experience something mysterious and otherworldly in the dream time? But, you know, to each his own. Some people don't like having a lot of that. But I just want to go back for a minute to the idea of substances. So it's not just pharmaceuticals that will influence recall. Definitely recreational drugs, weed, and alcohol will have an influence on it as well. The rule of thumb is if you overdo recreational drugs that are like hard drugs are bad for dream recall. Like in general, you're not going to have good mental clarity if you do anything like too heavy. But of the big dreamers that I've met from around the world, and I've done so many trainings and met with lucid dreamers like from all across the globe in different conferences and retreats and classes and things. And here's the bad news. Not one big lucid dreamer that I know will use weed because it is scientifically known to influence REM sleep and to inhibit and interfere with it. And that is a way that we know we predispose ourselves to lucid dreaming by increasing the REM sleep phase of the night. So first of all, actually smoking pot doesn't do anything for me anyway. Like it doesn't have an effect. I don't feel any better from it. I think I'm just kind of always living in this like sort of mellow mindset already. Cause I've done it a bunch of times back in the day and I'd just be sitting around like, what? Like what is up with you guys? Like I don't feel, so after a while I'm just like, this is a waste. Like nobody should give me their weed because it doesn't do anything for me. But I don't want to disrupt my REM sleep. So I don't smoke any weed. Generally, like if you were to have like a glass of wine or a drink, in the evening, that's not going to impede your dream recall. But if you have a few, it might. So, everything in moderation is always a good rule. My dad used to say that to us when we were kids. And it's so annoying when you're a little kid, and your dad has like dad is, but he was really wise and it was true. He'd be like, everything in moderation, kids. And yeah, turned out to be true. He'd be like, you get back what you put in.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
I found out like when I take melatonin, because sometimes I take 10 to 20, and some nights if I'm having a hard time falling asleep, I take 30 milligrams and I get some really intense dreams.
Yeah, that's a good point, Derek. I'm glad you said that because I've had people say to me when they're really disappointed when I say the weed thing, because a lot of people use weed to help them fall asleep at night because it mellows you out. It lowers your mental clarity so that the mind can chill and go to bed. Right?
This is mine. This is my way to go sleep. THC chocolate.
You can, if you use a lot of weed to help you sleep and you feel like your dream recall isn't the best, you don't have to quit like the pot gummies or whatever altogether. You can, we're not talking about that kind of trip, but But you can start mixing in with the pot gummies for sleep other things like an occasional melatonin or valerian root tea will help you fall asleep nicely, but will not have like the REM disruption that weed will have. So you can still remember your dreams when you wake up. So yeah, with melatonin, like there are so many different milligrams. I don't use it all the time, but if I have like worked really late into the night and I need to go right to sleep, but I haven't had time, to like wind down and get into that mindset, I'll do like a 3 or a 5 milligram melatonin, and it does not interfere with my dream recall at all. So like, as Derek said, sometimes it can actually help.
No, I remember my dreams. I remember my dreams when I take melatonin, and sometimes like I will have the same dream and remember it as if I dreamt it before, I guess. Like I would be like, wake up and I would remember my dream and think to myself, I've already dreamt this. Like I've already like I remember dreaming that dream before.
Yeah, you very well may have, because we do have a lot more dreams than we generally remember. We usually only remember the ones that are closest to the point where we just woke up. But the ones that are like earlier into the night or in the deeper stages of sleep that aren't REM, we often have a hard time remembering those. And we do dream a lot of repeat themes and locations and scenarios over and over again. And yes, and
that has
we
been my
really
thing this week.
A lot of repeat locations in dreams.
Yes, like 3 out of the last 5 days, it's been about Ireland, Scotland, and England. And then my freaking TikTok has all been about Ireland, Scotland, and England. I was like, now I need to go to England.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jenny, if it were my dream, I would save up to take a trip to the British Isles.
I don't know why.
In my head, I'm already thinking,
it's funny.
Like, look at this photography I can do. Like, I could take all this really cool old-time photography.
Oh my God,
like, it's so expensive to get to England, Ireland, Scotland, all over that place.
It's actually not that bad. It's not as expensive as you would think. No. Okay, maybe you guys are further away than I am, actually. I can fly from Connecticut to Dublin for pretty inexpensively, but you guys probably need an
you're all the way out there in Connecticut. Wow.
I'm out here on the East Coast. Yeah.
You're all the way on the East Coast.
I will.
I'll have to check into that. I don't want to interrupt our big conversation, but I am, in fact, going to be teaching a lucid alchemy class at Paganicon in Minnesota in
I'm not going to be home that week.
So you guys should try to come to the conference. But
I am so sad that I'm not going to be in town. I'm actually hosting or co-hosting a Paracon in Illinois that weekend.
Even though it's your daughter's birthday?
You know what? I'm taking her to Tennessee and probably Florida the week before.
I'm just teasing.
So I don't know. She's like, I want to go to Disney World. I'm like, if we go, it's only gonna be one day at the park. But
well, if anyone's around, I'm teaching at Paganicon. I'm excited to be there for all the things I'm not teaching, to go see the vendors and to take the other classes and to just like network with other cool people.
I'm so jealous that you're gonna be at Paganicon. This is the first year that since COVID, besides COVID, that I've not attended Paganicon. Like.
So is it the days of the Sura Paracon?
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Yep. And I have to head down here on Tuesday of that week until the following
it's March 20 to 22, I believe.
Yep. Okay. My daughter is a Paganicon baby. Like
I know.
He was delivered. He came a week after 2020 or 2018's Paganicon. Like I probably should have had her at Paganicon during Paganicon. With how
they
much
might not have liked that.
Well, I was like, my blood pressure was so high that weekend, and I was in so much pain. but I was at PaganCon as a vendor, so I'm like, it's just Braxton Hicks. It's fine. It's fine. And less than a week later, here's the baby girl. I'm like, he's a PaganCon
That's
baby.
funny.
So I want to kind of go back to some of the things that you were talking about factoring into like recalling dreams. And I feel like I need to be a part of a statistic or something because
Alicia, you are in so many ways.
You were born a statistic.
I am a
statistic. That must be nicer about it.
So I'm on medicine for anxiety and depression. I have PTSD. I am a spiritualist, so like I am deep involved with nature and stuff. I meditate every day. So it's like, and I like beer. So it's like I shouldn't remember like most of my dreams. So I feel like I got to be on a statistic somewhere.
Well,
do you
like
remember
I said,
your dreams when you're drinking?
There are some factors you can change and some you can't, right? So sometimes like a med you take, you just need to take and it's fine. But if you do other things like you're meditating, you're appreciating nature, like you're being open to the mysteries. And if you are interested in waking up and remembering your dreams, that vested interest, that intention goes a long way. There's actually studies that show people that want to remember their dreams will remember better than people that don't give a crap about it. If people don't value, if people don't value and they think, oh, dreams are just like the detritus of the crap of the emotional, stuff from my day, or just my mind trying to work stuff out, but it has no bigger meaning beyond me. Those people are less likely to remember than the people who think, ooh, there's something here that might be interesting, that might show me the future, that might help me talk to spirits, that might teach me something about myself. Those people will remember more. So I think it sounds, Alicia, like you have some factors that outweigh the detrimental factors and are still allowing you to recall, which is fantastic. And I am so happy that you said that, because there's a lot of people out there who may watch this, who are like, oh, well, I'm in the factors that prevent dream recall, but you can definitely change the ones, that you're able to, and you can tip the scales in your favor. So
there's three things I'm going to do. There's three things I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes. I'm going to think in my mind that I want to remember a specific dream. And then I'm going to then consciously think about what I want to dream about right before I go to bed. And see if I can remember what I consciously am thinking about before, and then I'm going to remember it in the morning because I'm going to write it down before I go to bed.
Perfect. Yes, that's a great plan. And when you are going to sleep and intending to remember your dreams, it's important to not just say, I'll remember my dreams. I actually, like a nerd, I sit there and I imagine myself in the morning waking up and jotting stuff down in my dream journal. So I'm actually sort of prepping myself to have that experience and owning the emotions that go along with it already happening, so that I'm kind of pre-programming myself to be in that mindset. But yeah, I think that is an awesome
when I wake up, I remember my dream a little bit, and then I try to remember it more. So like in the mornings, I'm thinking about my dreams, like what did I dream about? Okay, what happened after and stuff. I haven't journaled it, but I have a pretty good memory. Like when I get up and I'm trying to remember, and then piecing more stuff together.
Mm-hmm. You know what's weird sometimes? They say wet dreams, and you are dreaming about using the bathroom, and then you wake up and you're like
you're like, thank goodness I didn't.
About to let the bed say wet dreams. I do know what I'm talking about.
I do.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Because you're a pervert. But I'm talking about when you wet
on Troy Pages after dark.
Shut the hell up. I'm trying to be professional. Anyway, this is weird because I want to know why. Because I've had dreams like this where I'm in the urinal peeing in my dream, and it's a very vivid dream that I can remember. Yeah. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, like I'm peeing a little, and I had to rush my ass to the bathroom.
Okay, so this is not weird at all.
Let's telling you guys that is true. Look.
Let's make Derek feel a little better about this.
What do they call these types of dreams? They're not wet dreams, apparently. They're not wet dreams.
No. So some of my friends and I call these dreams of the impossible toilet. So there are so many dreams where you're seeking a bathroom in your dream. Now, here's the thing. When you are dreaming, you actually can feel sensations in the dream that correlate to things that are happening to your actual physical body. So when your bladder is full and you need to pee in your bed when you're sleeping, you will go seeking a urinal in your dream. And you just gotta hope that
I've done that shit. I've done it, and it happens when I'm drinking.
Yeah, so that is but here's the thing from the perspective of a lucid dreamer, because this is such a common phenomenon, we all need to set the intention that every time we go to the bathroom or are looking for a bathroom, we need to ask ourselves if we're dreaming before we let the urine go. Because then,
and a lot of times it's funny because I wake up right before I start peeing, so I'm like, thank God,
because your body's trying to wake yourself up from the dream.
One,
it's so weird because I don't know.
You will prevent an accident, but two, you also will maybe get yourself to become lucid. Because if you're in a dream looking for a bathroom and you say, am I dreaming? And then you realize that you're dreaming, that's an opportunity. Remember what we talked about before with lucid dreaming. Once you realize fully that you're in a dream and you're still in the dream, you could execute whatever paranormal plan you want at the time. So let's say you have an investigation coming up, right? Like you could be like, if you realize you're dreaming, you can say, I summon the spirits that live at the blah, blah, blah house or whatever, like wherever place you're going to, and see who comes in and talk to them and get a little foreground going, a little familiarity, so that when you then go into that investigation, you feel like you have some empathy. You might have a little bit more background. You might have experienced the energy of what you're looking to, encounter in that place. And it's like doing the best form of divination that you can possibly do prior to going into that. So whenever you really have to go to the bathroom, ask yourself if you're dreaming. Like make a habit of it in waking so that, well, you got to do it here. You have to make such a habit of it while you're awake that it will then become a habit that you do while you're also dreaming. That is the whole thing to creating a predisposition.
I do have one question too.
Go for it.
This is an important question that I just thought of. Right. I just wanted to ask one quick thing. Why do people wake up just before you die or something terrible happens? Like say a tidal wave comes, or say a comet is rushing and it blasts the earth and you see this dust and you're with your family and then all of a sudden right before something hits you, like to where you're going to die in this dramatic dream, you wake up.
So interestingly, it doesn't always happen. So there are cases of people who report that they have died in their dreams or have lived through like very traumatic experiences in their dreams. However, most of us do awaken right before that big thing happens. So like if we're going to fall off a cliff, if we're going to get hit by a comet, because the dream body starts to experience very intense sensation and generally high intensity of sensation in the dream body, because it correlates to neural synapses in the physical body. that high degree of sensation lurches you awake. It's usually just that.
Yeah,
and I know
wake
this
straight up. I'm like, oh, thank God I'm alive. Like, I'm just like, I gotta, oh shit. That was because,
right.
sometimes these dreams that are so real. And I wake up sometimes like thanking God, like, oh, thank God that wasn't real,
Yeah. And your heart is pounding, and it's such a relief because you were feeling that sensation right before. So then being lurched,
in your body.
that it will yank your awareness back into being anchored in the physical body.
Yeah,
and it's
so
probably
your brain is actually subconsciously still conscious when you're sleeping.
Yes, and it's a pretty good fail-safe because then we don't have to fully live out all those things.
Right.
Well,
yeah. That's funny.
So, yeah.
Another quick question, but this goes back to meditation, because I like try to teach others about like meditating like during work and stuff. Like, what do you tell people if they're at work, they can't leave from like their desk or wherever they're at, they can't just go outside? What kind of ways do you suggest, or like what can they do if they aren't able to do any of those things to help them at work?
Yeah, so at work, if you don't have the freedom to just put everything aside and have time to yourself and put a meditation timer on your phone, and take that break, you can just take 5 minutes sitting right where you are at your computer or whatever you do that are very mindful. So this can work even if you are in an active job. Like, let's say you are like doing a cashier or like clerking or something where you constantly have people like interacting with you. If you set aside 5 minutes where your intention is you're going to be incredibly aware of all of the physical sensations around you in the present moment for those 5 minutes, that's a good sort of precursor to meditation. It's still very focused. Present moment awareness skills are amazing for helping dream recall, because what great dream recall really is being very aware of the moment when you are beginning to wake up and aware of what you were just experiencing in the dream reality at the same time. And it requires great clarity of that moment, right? But so if you practice present moment awareness, it would be things like, what do I feel? Like what is the desk or the counter or the register or whatever you're doing? What does it feel like, right? Like you could be a mechanic working on a car. Like, what does the metal feel like? What do the fluids smell like? What are the sounds that I hear in my environment right now? Are there people talking? Are there computers humming? Are there machines whirring? Like, what are all the sensations? Is my body cold or hot? You try to check in with all of the senses over and over and over again, whatever you can pick up on for maybe 5 minutes. That's a really good meditation. And you can be doing that while still doing things. And that's why that's a nice, option if you can't just separate yourselves and close your eyes. Like if you have the luxury of taking a lunch break where you can be like, oh, I'm going to take 15 minutes and eat my sandwich, and then I'm going to take the other 15 minutes and do a meditation with my eyes shut and a timer on so I'm not late going back to my job. Like, that's great. But not everyone can do that, right? It depends on the situation. So yeah, but it's a great question, Alicia, because I love that you asked it. There's always a way to do something meditative, even in the midst of a very active environment. And this can greatly enhance your mental clarity and your skills. So no one is really in a situation where they can never try to do present moment awareness skills at the very least. It's accessible to all, and we should do it. I mean, it's a win-win. Even if it doesn't change your dreaming life, it's still going to make you calmer. It's going to make you more aware of your surroundings. Like, it's going to enhance your life. So why not just do it anyway? That's the way I think about it.
Oh, I definitely agree with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's kind of flip.
I think everybody
topic.
needs some meditation.
Yeah.
5 to 10 minutes.
Right. And that's what I tell people with my oral readings. I'm like,
That
you
felt
gotta
good,
take
actually.
a couple times a day, take a deep breath, push it negative crap out, and bring in that positive energy again. To
Yes,
finish
push
the
it
day,
out.
just
Deep
ground
breaths,
yourself.
push all that negative. Yep. You gotta talk to it. That's for
So-
damn sure.
Let's kind of flip the
Sorry.
topics a little bit. What initially drew you to the occult? Because I know you talk about it and studied the occult.
Yeah.
What
I
drew
mean,
you to that?
Occult just means hidden or mysterious or secret. So I just am someone who loves to explore what causes things to happen, and so I have always had very intuitive and psychically sharp skills, like even as a kid, but I started to notice patterns in those when I was a young adult in college. And so noticing that I would become more psychically clear at certain times of the year, I started researching that kind of thing. And that's what got me into, witchcraft and dealing with spirits and the effects of magic. All of this is part of the occult. It gets a bad rap. I mean, people fear the word occult, thinking that it's something evil or negative, but
Right.
it doesn't need to be that at all. I think people actually confuse the word occult with the word cult. Cults can be pretty bad.
Yeah.
So no one wants to be manipulated or like roped into, doing something that is not aligned with their true will, like in a cult. We're not talking about a cult. We're talking about occult, OCCULT. So that's a big difference for people to discern. And by the way, for those people that are, Christian and stuff, like Christianity has loads of occult history. There used to be lots of magic and divination and spells and things worked through Christianity. So it isn't just witches and people who deal with, non-biblical spirits that are potentially working in the realms of the occult. Anyone can explore the mysteries. It does not matter what your religious background is. And I think that's a really important thing, because a lot of us get discriminated against because people think that if we are dealing in the occult, that we're doing something that's considered like evil or black magic.
Evil, yeah.
And it's not true. I really, work really hard to be an ethical practitioner and only do things that are for the highest and best good of myself and those around me. So, yeah. It's a good question.
When you are practicing or engaging with your practice, how do you protect yourself? Because I know there's different ways of protection and different people do different ways.
It depends on what type of protection you are needing. So I have loads of different levels of protection in place because I'm very visible with being a published author and speaking at a lot of big conferences and things like that. So you get shade, people, you need more protection the more you're putting yourself out there in the public eye, generally.
Right.
So there's no magical protection that can just protect you from like life, right? Like you're still going to be like Derek and slip on the snow every now and then. You're going to twist an ankle. You're going to have a fender bender. We're all going to get the flu here and there. We can't protect from like the inconveniences of life. What we do want to protect from is what I call unnecessary harm. So this is energetic vampirism, psychic intrusion, parasitic entities, things like those are the things we want to protect from. And what are the levels? For me, I'm a magician. So I work with a lot of spirits who have legions of allies that I have at my disposal to help keep these kinds of things away. What I don't like for protection, and sorry, this might be a downer for some people because this is really popular, but a lot of like new agers teach people to put themselves in a bubble of light. It's a really bad idea because that's fear-based protection. And so you are making yourself smaller and more vulnerable. And actually, you make that bubble of light, it doesn't stay there. As soon as you like talk about meditation skills, as soon as you start focusing on something else, that energy construct dissipates. It does not stay. Our auric fields are constantly changing. So the best protection is actually vigorous workouts every day. That is like an energetic shower that energy in, energy out in a really vigorous, dynamic, cleansing way. When you work out daily, it's really tough for negative things to stay in your auric field. But you can do things like create charms. Like I have a special ring that is protective. I have symbols on my body, like that are tattooed. Some of them from my book, The Goddess Seals, that are very protective. And actually, there's a lot of people that have these same symbols from that book tattooed on them because they're very powerful. That's only purchasable through miskatonicbooks.com at this point in time. But like you can use charms, symbols, incantations. There's energetic techniques that you can do. There's so much. Like it's actually a huge topic that we could talk about energetic protection and the specifics of it for a couple of hours easily and just be cracking.
So part 3 coming soon. We just get Nikki on like a monthly schedule with us.
Oh my
like
God.
every month we talk about different topics like energetic protection, spirit protection, the occult, psychic abilities. We'll just get you on every month at this point.
I mean, the thing is that all of these topics are things that you can study for your whole entire life, which is why I'm an occultist, because it's freaking interesting and it makes you never be bored and you feel like you're always kind of expanding and learning more about yourself and the nature of your spirit, so the fact that we have an hour discussion and we only have more questions is really good.
Yeah, I know.
It's a sign of learning.
We're just gonna make you reoccurring guests on Trend Pages.
I was gonna say that everything that you said, that really helped him out, I think, because he believes like a couple times that I've thrown out some spells and he said, "Oh, your curse rebounded." Well, I didn't do a curse. I did a spell. And it was like life stuff, that just typically happens. And, I'm all positive. I always go forward and, no matter what comes at me, like people's energies, like I'm easy to reflect that back out. So thank you for explaining that because sometimes people don't understand that we're doing magic and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
See, the thing is like with me, I always tell her to be careful because I don't do this stuff, but when I think about her doing a spell, typically on a certain somebody or for something to happen to a certain someone, in some cases, these spells might come back to haunt you, maybe, if that's the right way to say it.
It's very possible.
Do they come back?
Possible. It's all about the motivation, behind it. You generally tend in your life to experience situations that have the same energy as the stuff that you put out there. So it's never a good idea just to send shade at someone because you don't like them or you feel like they're a pain in the ass or whatever. It's okay to freeze harm that comes from sources because again, that's what I'm saying, unnecessary harm. You don't need to be at the whim of receiving, negative circumstances from somebody else. You can stop that without harming them, but it does require going about it carefully. You can't just, it's not good to just necessarily mirror harm right back at someone. although it depends.
Yeah.
Every situation is unique. There's a lot of ways to go about things.
Right.
Right. I know you kind of talked about it. I know like a lot of people like to protect their houses. People have been told like black obsidian, stones in the corners of the houses,
Right.
nails outside of the house. What is your thoughts about how to protect your house so you don't have negative energy or negative spirits or things coming into your house and keeping it as much balanced as possible?
Well, there's a lot you can do. I like to have, I have horseshoes that I have the curved part at the top, like standing near all of the entrances of the house. It's kind of an old piece of folk magic for protection against negative spirits. But really my main protection in the house is that I do a little day opening ritual every day that cleanses and recharges the energy of the house according to me and my allied spirits. So I work a lot with spirit allies. And by the way, when I say that, I'm not talking about spirits of the dead. You know, I'm talking about non-human spirits, like the spirits that work for gods and goddesses.
Yes.
Those their legions of spirits are among the ones that I enlist to help me set up protections, because that's dynamic. That's like having a guard, you know. So it's tough because crystals alone, you know, they're going to have as much effect as
Fucking ankle.
the energy that you can sense coming off of them right then. You know, yes, a lot of people think that stones are intelligent beings, and you know, I believe that, you know, that they have like an energy all their own, but are they acting with agency for you? I don't know. So it's good to do trial and error with that kind of stuff. Like if you're trying to set up wards around your house using stones and iron and things like that, kind of see what works. Witch's bottle, that's also like a piece of folk magic that, you know, you can look that up.
Yes,
The witch's bottle is a nice way to set up protection around your property and the place where you live as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
There was another question. Hold on.
Do you believe also? Oh, go ahead, Jenny. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Alicia.
Oh, I was going to say, is it something that you have to believe in, or something you just hear about in order to protect your home?
Belief helps a lot. Skepticism definitely can water down the effectiveness of magical acts. So, yeah, if you think like, oh, what's this witch's bottle BS, and you go ahead and do it, it's probably not going to be all that effective. But if you understand why it's supposed to work and you have a belief in it, then it will possibly be quite effective. Yeah. Belief is a big ingredient.
Definitely. I know in their cult there's different symbols and different images and stuff. I know like the pentagram is the most common with new generations. Quickly just tell us what, I don't even know how to describe this or ask this question, but like generally, what does the symbols like mean? Like let's say pentagram.
Okay, yeah. So the pentagram stands for the harmonious balance of all of the elements existing in everything. So the pentagram stands for the fact that there are subtle energies of air, fire, water, earth, and spirit in everything you can experience. and that those qualities that exist on the spiritual realms as subtleties exist here too. The pentagram is actually considered quite protective. It is actually used as a protective symbol, and it's also considered quite grounding. And that is because of its wholeness and its balance. Like, it's supposed to help keep you in that balanced state. And when you're in that state of all the balanced elements, you are not vulnerable to violation as much from negative entities. So a lot of people do wear their pentagram as a protective ward, protective talisman. But literally, even if I taught classes to you guys for a year, we could not go through all of the occult symbols that exist. I mean, there's so many.
Well, and then you can make your own sigils too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know coming up at Pagonicon, Laura Tempest always comes every single year. I know she teaches a class about creating, I think what she calls it is, the specific one that she calls it for Pagonicon is the Pagonicon something symbol. Each year she comes with a theme.
Yeah, I've taken her class too. She calls it sigil witchery.
Yes.
And she will create a unique sigil for the con.
Yeah. And hers is always amazing. I love it.
Yeah. And she has her own specific thought process as to how that works. And there are different thought processes in the occult and different ways of activating sigils and causing them to hold the energy signature that you want them to hold, and so forth. So there are a lot of different theories. But yeah, sigilry is a whole great field of magic where you can create protective symbols in a customized manner.
Yeah, so if you guys go to Pagonicon, check out Laura Tempest's lecture.
Right here.
It's always amazing.
I made my own.
Yeah.
So I know, like, when we had our shop, we had a couple of times people come out and make witches' brooms or bedsin brooms or something like that. I can't remember the exact words. And I've seen it with a lot of people that I know that does the craft, that they have them by their front door. Why is it always placed by the front door or like a doorway?
Well, I mean, that's considered the entryway into the home.
Well,
so if you're worried about entities or energies being able to come in, then having a protective ward near the door just makes sense. Yeah.
I got a question.
Go ahead, Derek.
The phrase, it's colder than a witch's titty.
Oh, Jesus.
Why do people say it's colder than a witch's titty? Because why does a witch got to be cold?
I don't really know what the origin of that phrase is.
I mean, seriously, it's colder than a witch's titty. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but
maybe just because of the imagery of like witches flying through the night, you know.
Before, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
I don't know.
So, I don't know. Here's a good question, because I know a lot of people put it all under the same umbrella. When people think of witchcraft and Wicca and occult, they all think it's the same thing. But what is your opinion on that? Because I know, like, not every witch is a Wiccan, not every Wiccan is a witch, or, you know, under that big umbrella of paganism.
Yeah, I mean, technically, it's all occult.
Right.
But under the umbrella of paganism, which is all sort of earth-based magico-religious or magico-spiritual traditions, you would have Wicca is one specific tradition. And there are different sects of Wicca and there are different sects of witchcraft, and they have subtle differences in the way that people practice within them. So it's just like in Christianity, where you kind of understand like what the difference is between this Catholic church over here and this Baptist church over here, like they say prayers differently, and they may do communion differently. And, they have different traditions of how the priesthood works and all of that kind of thing, but they still are operating sort of out of like this same biblical lore and belief system. Well, the same is true in these different aspects of paganism. So whether you're talking about Asatru, heathenry, Dianic Wicca, American witchcraft, that's my tradition. They're all similar, but they have different, nuances in practice. My tradition in American witchcraft tends to use more ceremonial magic, whereas in Wicca, it tends to be a bit more ritual drama for their rituals. Like the ritual style is different, and the gods and goddesses that they call upon are more specific in Wicca. So those things differ, but the general feel is it's still very earth-based, magical, religious and spiritual practice. Yeah, I know that's
so do you do like your rituals by yourself, or do you do them with other people? Yeah, like do you do them like
both? So I run a huge occult order here in Connecticut, where like we do ritual together for every full moon and every one of the pagan Sabbaths. But I do ritual myself every morning. Like my own day opening ritual. And then if I need to do a spell, I cast a full-on ritual of hallowing sacred space in a ceremonial magic manner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the answer is definitely both. I do a lot of rituals with other people, and I do a lot of rituals by myself as well.
And
so you kind of just mentioned it. Oh,
yeah.
Go ahead, Derek. You kind of just mentioned that.
No, I was just going to say, and you teach class, you were saying at the beginning.
Yes, I teach.
I'll just pause for a second.
Yeah, it's a private occult order. So I usually start one new group every fall. So I already have like a new group who has begun, and they'll be doing like a whole year-long curriculum where they take a class with me every single week. Once a week on the same night every week, working towards initiation in the order so that they have all that foundational knowledge. And then I have other curricula that I teach as well, in addition to that. And actually I have a lucid magic online course open to the public that is not just for that's starting on January 12th. And there is a link to it. It's Dream Sorcery Online on my website, which Jenny just put up there, or one of you guys. Yeah, so that course will be by recording. Like the hours of me teaching come to you in individual recordings so that everyone can do them at their own like pace and time. But it's meant to be sort of the depth teaching to the book. So a lot of people will read a book like my book, Dream Sorcery, that has a lot of information in it and not be able to structure like the work of approaching it themselves. And the class helps them to like walk through the steps methodically. And also there's like Q&As and stuff involved in doing the class. So I have that, but yeah, I do a lot of teaching. And then of course I teach at conferences, and bookstores and,
nice.
And things like that.
Well, you definitely stay busy.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
So you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but for people who don't know, what are the pagan Sabbaths? I know there is one for each season, basically, or.
Yep, they have different names depending on the tradition you're in. So most people know the Wiccan names for the Sabbaths. So, for example, if we're starting from right now on the calendar year, we would have winter solstice or Yule is the next one that comes up. After that, Imbolc is February 2nd, or in my tradition, we call it Candlemas. And then comes spring equinox, which the Wiccans call Ostara. Then most people have heard of Beltane. That's May 1st or May Day.
Yep.
After that one comes summer solstice, which is sometimes called midsummer, or also Litha and Wicca. And then after that, we start to get into harvest festival season. So in Wicca, what they call Lunasa is what we call in the more Anglo-Saxon term Lammas. And then we have, after that one comes fall equinox, which is sometimes also called Mabon, although that's a very problematic term. The Wiccans call it that, but like it is a misnomer. And then the last one, the 8th one, is what the Wiccans call Samhain, which is Hallowmas or Halloween or All Hallows. So those are the 8 Sabbats on the wheel of the year in the modern day craft. It can vary too, like depending on your tradition. Like if you study or if you practice heathenry, the festivals that are accentuated may be different from that. If you study voodoo, you know, the festivals that you accentuate may be different from those. But those are sort of the main ones acknowledged in the modern day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I know because my friend was trained under Roy Cabot out of Salem.
Go here.
So
I'm gonna go get my leg up.
you'll meet her at Pigonicon. Jillian Jacobs.
I gotta
She's very
go up my leg
into that whole Pigonicon thing. She teaches multiple classes and stuff. So you'll meet her during that event. And she has a shop out here in Minnesota, Midwest Witchery and Healing. So if you're in the Twin Cities and have some time before Pigonicon, go check that out. It's in the historic Stillwater.
Nice.
I'm gonna go up here. I'm gonna go elevate my leg because it's really swollen. I mean, I'm having some complications, but Nikki, it was really good meeting you. I'm gonna be in the comments. I said meeting you, talking to you again. Sorry. And I just want to say thank you so much for answering our questions because you did it perfectly. So I appreciate that. I'll be in the comments. So I got to get my leg up because it's I don't know. It feels
good luck at the doctor tomorrow. I hope that it gets taken care of.
Yes. All righty.
Like I said, I think part 3 will have to come soon because we are leaving with more questions than we had in the beginning. Nikki's just going to become a recurring guest here on the page with.
She has a plethora of knowledge.
Right. So much little avenues we can go down, rabbit holes we can go down, everything.
Right.
But we're past our 1 hour. I don't want to keep you up longer than you have to, Nikki, because I know you're very busy.
Yeah, so this is awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me. And thank you to the folks who popped into the chat too. And I hope everyone has an awesome winter holiday season.
Yeah, you too. We will definitely get you back on after the new year. And maybe we could talk about manifestation for 2026 or something. I don't know.
Ooh,
get that right mindset going for the new year.
There we go.
That's a great idea.
So I will reach out to you this week about that, and we'll get it all figured out.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you guys.
So where can people see you until the end of the year? Are you all done with events, or do you have something up before the end of the year?
I don't have any more events in December, but I do have a bookstore event in Bristol, Connecticut in January. And then I will be at the Sacred Space in Between the Worlds conference down in the Maryland, DC area in February. I'll be at Piganicon in March. Actually also be at Spirit Northwest in Oregon in April. I'm taking May off. Well, not just from traveling because my daughter's graduating from college. And then June, we have the Morrigan's Call Retreat here in Connecticut. So it just keeps continuing on. But if you go to my author page, so my author page at Llewellyn is linked directly from my own website, nikkywardwellsleath.com. And they usually update it with whatever my upcoming appearances and events and things are so people know where to find me if they're local or they want to come.
Well, like we said before, we appreciate you coming back on and hope to have you back on again because we definitely have more questions.
Well, thank you so much, guys. Yeah, it's been really fun.
Thank you,
Have a
Nikki.
good night.
You too.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Merry
Yep.
Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy Year
Thank
Old.
you, guys.
Yep, bye. So that was Nikki. We'll definitely have to get her back on because I feel like every time we talk with her, we have more questions than we start with.
Always.
But if you didn't catch the beginning of the show, we do have. Let me see if I can pull it up again. Hold on one sec. Let me see if I have it on here. Obscure Paracon coming up in March 21st and 22nd. Same weekend as PaganaCon. I'm so sad I'm gonna miss Nikki, but I will be at this event. We have Josh Purvis, Dave Schrader, Amelia Carter, and I can't say it yet. So hard to not say it, but some other amazing people coming that once we get them publicly announced, everyone will want to be at this Paracon. But put it in your date calendars. Make sure you're there. It's going to be very low cost Paracon admission. Amazing vendors, speakers, workshops, investigation. It will be an event to not miss here in the Midwest. But next week is our Paranormal Roundtable, which I'm super excited about because we have like a group of 15, 20 people. So we'll be talking about paranormal ethics because that is a big topic in the paranormal community lately is what is wrong, what is okay. We'll be talking about paranormal equipment, paranormal locations. We're not going to talk about drama. We're not going to dive into the whole paranormal drama. But we have a great group of people coming on next weekend, so I'm super excited.
It's going to be fun.
It is. And then we end the year with Petty Negri the following weekend, talking about haunted dolls and anything else she talks about because she's the good witch. So I'm super excited to have Patty on. I know I saw her at Scarefest, and she's super excited to come back on the show.
I need to find my doll, Kelsey, by the way. I was wondering where she was at yesterday.
Derek probably threw her in the trash.
He better not have. 'Cause, I bet she's in the kids' room somewhere. I don't know. Like Kelsey always sits on my altar back there, but she's been missing.
Derek probably hit her because he probably doesn't like her.
Well, last time that he did that, she was talking. Like we can hear her talking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What did Derek just post? I had to elevate my leg. My foot's starting to appear puffy and swollen in my toes. Derek, tomorrow you gotta get your butt to the clinic.
That's I'm taking him, and he's going to start listening to me.
If not, I'm going to have to come down there and kick his ass.
Thank you.
So, I will kick his ass because he still owes me my equipment too. So
yeah, right.
I know we're so close this weekend, but so far apart at the same time.
Yeah.
But if anyone is listening, you have suggestions for guests for 2026, please send them to us because we are working on booking 2026. And we have a few guests booked. I am waiting confirmation for the first guest of 2026, but we have in January the guy who owns the Salem Spirit Board Museum will be coming on to talk about spirit boards.
Cool.
In his museum. We have someone talking about the haunted Juliet prison.
All right.
I feel like I have someone else booked too. But I have emails going out every day. I have messages going out every day. So I'm super excited. They are beginning to fill for 2026. But also, let me do this before I forget, because we still have a few hours left, a couple more hours of this month.
Also, don't forget to check out Sanctum of Souls if you haven't been there yet, guys.
Yes.
We've got a whole calendar open, like lots of dates.
I will be down there in January. I promise. December is fucking crazy, so I can't do December, but let me share this. Hold on. If you guys don't see my personal Facebook page or my Stories Within Facebook page, please go out and follow that. But I do have a Black Friday special ending tonight. Maybe I'll extend it until tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. Let me see. I can make this bigger. Hold on. So any of my photography, most of it can be put on canvas prints. So right now I have 20% off all canvas prints. So 8x10s will be 32, 11x14 will be 44, 12x12 is 50, and then you get free gifts depending on how much you spend. All of my photography can be put in prints, framed, or on canvases. If you're interested, please reach out to me. You can see all the photography on Stories Within Photography page or my personal Facebook page. I know I've had great amount of support since I started selling it. If you're local to Illinois, you can come out to Mr. Willie's Dark Arts and Oddities and get prints and canvases as well. But
how much are the prints?
4x6s are 5, 5x7s are 8, 8x10s. If you don't get them framed, it's 15. With frames, they're 20.
All right.
And then I have a 2026 calendar available of previous photography as well, and that is 25 plus text. And the calendars, like, I love the calendars. Like, I just did that as like, hey, this is an option to do, and I sold all 4 within a day, and everybody loves them, so I'm super excited. So if you want a calendar, I have those as well. They're on my Facebook page and my personal Facebook page of pictures of those. But let me see what Derek just posted. He's making comments about ETM coming to the Paracon. But if you guys have guest recommendations, anything like that, please reach out. We will work on getting those booked. But we will be back here next Sunday with the Paranormal Roundtable. Bring your questions, bring your comments. Keep it peaceful, keep it respectful. No paradrama, because we're not going to do that. But we will be back here next Sunday for the Paranormal Roundtable.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Sunday fun day.
Yes, Sunday fun day. And I will be back home next week. I'll be home next Sunday, so I won't be in the hotel room.
Yeah,
but
get your ass home. Roads are good
tomorrow.
now.
Tomorrow, yes. Well, it's supposed to snow in Wisconsin tomorrow, so we'll see.
Yeah, I know. We're supposed to get an inch here. Not bad.
So it was Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Indiana, and a different state that all got snowstorm yesterday. So it was like 6 states that got snowstorms.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn.
Ice packed at the end of our driveway because the city, they come and they plow. Well, every year it piles up at the end of our driveway and it just turned into ice. So I had to break it up, and yeah, it was a lot of work.
I hate snow. I hate cold. I hate winter. But
yeah.
I have a heated vest now, and again, when I get home, I'll have a heated hat and hand warmers. So I will be hopefully set for this year. But we all know how cold it can get in the Midwest.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah. My husband texted me this evening. It's negative 25 wind chills here in Minnesota. I'm like, yeah, have fun with that.
Negative 25 in Minnesota right now?
Yeah, that's what he just texted me. The wind chills are negative 25. Yeah. So I'm like, good. No, I'm good. Can I stay here in Illinois? But you all have a great week, and we'll see you back here next Sunday, same time, same place.
Stay spooky.
Stay spooky.